Right, James, let's get to the big game in Spain this weekend. It's a top of the table clash at the Mestalla. Valencia hosting none other than Real Madrid. Real Madrid doing pretty well so far, of course, top of the table, but the two sides have exactly the same record. I think it's going to be a tough one for Valencia at home, though, because I think that so far haven't really had a big test. This is their first big test. How do you think they'll do?
Yeah, I think do you know what I'm loving? I'm just loving what Ancelotti's kind of done with Real Madrid so far. I think you probably would have expected it. I think with Zinedine Zidane, it was a very possession-based team that kind of took their time, tried to kind of be resolute there. You had Ramos back then, you had Varane back then, but didn't score that many goals. And there was a huge reliance on Benzema, and there probably still is, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it's a lot more free-flowing. You know, the XG is much higher. They've scored 13 goals. Conceded 6, but I think this is kind of the refreshment that Real Madrid fans would probably have wanted from this season and from Ancelotti. You know, a team that kind of is simplified, is allowed to kind of go out and play their game and go and win games. Vinicius Junior seems like a different striker now, or wide forward, I guess, for them. I've read that he's been kind of told to take a touch, which seems to be working for him quite well at the moment. But I think it's important that, you know, those players chip in a little bit, because yes, there are new players coming in like Camavinga, but you've still got some quality players there. But people just need to kind of step up a little bit. Hazard had a real struggle last year as well. And it was all on Benzema, wasn't it? It was all on Benzema. And look, he is firing once again. But if he's got some help around him, then that's going to be crucial for Real Madrid in a season where it feels like it's really there for the taking, the La Liga title. Of course, you've got Madrid, Atletico Madrid, who won it last year. But Real Madrid will want to go out and put on a show, I think, a little bit. I think La Liga is the main concern for them, because I think when they look at the Champions League, I think they're probably a little bit fearful of those Premier League sides. But in La Liga, I think they can, you know, put on a show and go and win some big games, like this game this weekend against Valencia's side, who hasn't really played against anyone who's that great as of yet. Now is the test for them, but it's certainly a much better start than last season. Last season was very disappointing for them. But back to Real Madrid and Karim Benzema, who just continues to dominate, doesn't he?
Continues to do what he does, amongst the best in the world in terms of that number 9 position. And again, I speak about it with Lewandowski. I want Kane to be more like this. The efficiency of the man, the fitness of the man, to run and sprint when he needs to run the channels when he absolutely needs to put pressure on defenders and midfielders when he absolutely needs to, and reserve all of his energy for where it really matters, keeping a clear head in the penalty box. 33 years old now. He knows what he's doing. He's taken care of himself. I think he's going to be a huge player for Real Madrid this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, he's one of the great number 9s for Real Madrid now, number 5 on the list in terms of goals, above Ferenc Puskás, which is, you know, a nice thing for him to have in his back pocket when he needs it. Yeah, I agree with you. It's interesting, isn't it, when you kind of compare him to Harry Kane and maybe Lewandowski, again has that more efficiency in his movement, is the fact that you have a midfield that dominates the ball and is able to move the ball up the pitch. A lot of talk about Eden Hazard and the fact that he doesn't have that kind of explosive dribbling pace that he had a couple of years ago. He's a different kind of player now. So there's a really sort of fine tuning that needs to kind of continue to happen. But it's one where that works with Benzema really well, because he doesn't want to kind of go off to the right back position and pick up the ball. He wants to stay in that left-hand channel. Or if you have a look at his heat maps from this season, there is a big red blob on that penalty spot. He's there all the time because he wants to go and score goals for the team. And I think with Ancelotti, he's just gone, I think it's a perspective thing. I think he's maybe gone, well, hang on a minute, you know, okay, yeah, we can control a game because we've got these wonderful midfielders, but with the loss of those centre-backs, maybe the best form of defence is attack this season. So I think it's going to be an exciting team to watch. You know, Celta Vigo 5-2 last week. I think it's everything we kind of want from a Real Madrid team. We want them to be bad at the back.
Don't forget. Right? A clean sheet against Inter Milan, no mean feat, an away win in the Champions League, massive way to start their European campaign. They can build on that in terms of confidence too.
This test against Valencia, I mean, Valencia 13th last season. This season, it is looking better, but I think we're cautious, aren't we, in terms of what they can offer in this game. I mean, Soler's got a great record against Real Madrid in terms of goal scoring. I think he's got 5. He's scored more than anyone. Only Luis Suarez and Joselu with 6 have scored more since the 2016 against Real Madrid. Do you give Valencia a chance in this game, or do you think it's going to be a free scoring Real Madrid coming out on top?
I think Jose Bordalas has made Valencia a better outfit. I think this season they are playing with a little bit more confidence as well. That's important. I spoke about the positivity at Real Madrid. That's something they certainly needed at Valencia. And this good start of the season, they'll want to build on. I don't think they're going to earmark Real Madrid at home as a certain 3 points, but certainly we shouldn't count them out for this game. Real Madrid unbeaten in 22 matches, but they've only won 1 of their last 7 games at the Mestalla. This is traditionally one of the biggest games in Spanish football. Valencia haven't really figured in the title race for a while, but I think at the moment their fans will say, look, we've started the season well. This is the first big test. Let's see what we've got. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I think Real Madrid will still win, but probably by a 0-0, maybe 2-1. I'm expecting Valencia again to try and carry the game, that's what you expect of the Mestalla. This is Valencia. It doesn't really matter what mode the team is in. You expect that positive football, quality football from Valencia at home. And I think this season could be a really good season for them.
I think it will be Real Madrid's victory. I also think both teams will definitely score in this game as well. I could see this being a 3-2 or a 4-2 to Real Madrid. I just think the goals are going to continue to rain down throughout the season, which is exciting for all of us. But what do you guys think? Let us know down below. Valencia versus Real Madrid. Who's going to win this one? Thank you for joining us on ESPN's Football Forecast with myself, James Alcott, and my good friend Hugh Wizencroft. We'll see you next time. Hi guys, James Alcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.